Welcome back! Today we are going to make a little herb garden in a pot. If you have a patio, if you're in small spaces, if you're looking at my big gardens here and going, that's not even fair! Well, today's video is for you. Well, the first thing you have to have for a potted garden is a pot. This is a Dollar General special, and it costs 10 bucks. It's gonna last a few years, pretty sturdy, and it doesn't look bad. It looks exactly like real stone. So, one thing you'll notice, there are no drain holes in the bottom of this pot. So if you were to go ahead and start a little herb garden in this pot, it would not drain. And that's bad. You're gonna end up with herb soup, and it'll be like a rotten, stinky soup, like something that you left in the back of your fridge, not something that you want to pick from. So the first thing you got to do when you get a new pot is check and see, does it have drainage? If it does not have drainage, you need to make some drainage. And that's easy. You can do this with a nail or a screw. Maybe if you have really pokey fingernails, you can do it. But I picked a drill bit that's about the same size as the holes that are here, the space that's marked for it. And I'm just gonna run through and cut them out. So that's it, we got our drainage. Now the next step is we're gonna be cheap. All about being cheap, and I'm all about composting in place. If you were to buy enough potting soil to fill this pot, it would be a lot of potting soil. You're gonna have to, get 2 or 3 bags. You don't need to do that. Nature has free stuff you can use to fill in the gaps. You got any woods around you? If you do, go grab some rotten wood and leaves. This is going to be the bottom of your pot instead of going and buying potting soil. Look at that. We're carbon sequestering. Sequestering like a boss. Now the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put a little food in here for the plants. Eggshells. Smash them up and throw them in there. A little bit of calcium right there. Coffee grounds and some old tea bags. Now you got a little nitrogen with your carbon. Oh yeah. Save your coffee grounds. Here's another trick too. If you don't have woods nearby and you don't have leaves and stuff that you can go gather, you could just use shredded paper in the bottom, shredded cardboard, tear up pieces of cardboard, use your old paper towels, whatever. All that stuff is good. Now we're gonna add our potting soil. This is just inexpensive potting soil from Ace. If you buy like the Miracle Grow potting soil that has a fertilizer in it, you can do that too. It costs quite a bit more, but you don't have to feed it for a long time. So if that's something you wanna do, you can do that too. But pretty common. I prefer to just use the inexpensive, like $5 a bag, Ace potting soil. I've had good luck with it. And there we go. Now we're ready to plant. Got some pretty little parsley here. Ooh, that's a little bit root bound. If I see it really root bound like that, I tear the roots up a little bit on the sides to encourage it to grow new roots that are not circling. You don't chop it absolutely to bits, but you do put some rips in them. And you just plant it at the same level that it was in the pot. Don't plant it any deeper. This one has some circling roots too. This is rosemary. I'm just gonna break those roots a little bit. Now you can get all fancy and get a trowel, but then you don't ground yourself in the earth. Now I know some of you might be thinking, man, doesn't rosemary get big? Yes, it does. It will get big. And over time, it could fill this entire pot and get huge. But you're going to keep it pruned up, so that's not a problem. Our next one here is a classic of Italian cooking, sweet basil. Those roots look pretty good. I'm not going to do much with those. Break a few at the bottom. That right there. And then our last, this is the bane of many a northern garden, but it's so worth growing. This is peppermint. Peppermint's a spreader. Likes to root along the stems, which is great. Means you can start more and more potted gardens. You can fill your entire patio. What's going to happen here, long term, is you're going to have the basil go to bloom, and it's going to quit on you. So you'll get a season out of the basil, and then it's done. Then you're going to get, same thing with the parsley. You usually get a season out of it, and then it's going to die back on you. Sometimes you can keep it longer. The rosemary and the mint are going to be here long term. So what you'll end up with over time is a potted rosemary, which is as big as you let it get through pruning, surrounded by a ground cover of mint. It's going to be fantastic. Now what we got to do is water them in. It's important to keep things watered. Plants and pots can dry out quickly. Now the great thing about a deeper pot like this, with all that material we put in the bottom, is it will not dry out nearly so fast as if you kept your herbs in little pots. And there's a benefit with plastic pots over the terracotta pots. The terracotta pots look pretty, but the water goes out of the sides. They evaporate quickly. The water just runs away. So, can't think of anything else we need to do. What would Martha Stewart do?
Oh, Mama, I wish we had a little potted herb garden.
Oh, but that's so much trouble.
No trouble at all, ladies.
Yankee!
Thanks for joining me. I hope that you've been inspired to plant your own little potted herb garden. Super simple. And if you don't even want to spend the money on transplants, some herbs do really well from seed, especially cilantro and basil. You could just get a pot of dirt, sprinkle the seeds on there, keep it watered, and they'll grow. With your herbs, make sure that they stay watered. Make sure that they have at least half sun. They don't have to be full sun. Half sun's usually good enough. And you'll be enjoying herbs for a long time to come. Catch y'all next time. Be sure to like and subscribe for more gardening tips and fun. And until next time, may your thumbs always be green.
I went to see David the Good. We listened to Portishead and drank spiced rum.
Some pretty little parsley here. My wife picked these up for me. Isn't it like in here so hard?
Oh, Mama, I wish we had a little potted herb garden.
Oh, but that's just so much trouble.
No trouble at all, ladies.
Yankee!
Rolling. Oh, Mama, I wish we had a little herb garden.
Oh, but that's just so much trouble.
Oh, Mama, I wish we had a little potted herb garden.
Oh, but that's just so much trouble.
No trouble at all, ladies.
Ah!